$150 billion and counting. That's how much the border crisis is costing the American taxpayer. $67 billion of that is being paid by state and local governments, but Oklahoma is pushing back, sending the Vice President, Kamala Harris, an invoice for damages. Joining us now is Ryan Walters, the Oklahoma State Superintendent. Sir, I really like this idea. You're sending the Vice President a bill, I understand, for $474 million because that's what it's costing your schools to deal with the migrant crisis. Tell us more.
Yeah, look, I mean, the biggest threat out there to the U.S. economy, our parents, our kids, is Kamala Harris. I mean, the border czar has had an open borders policy that has allowed our schools to be overrun with illegal immigrants. So, again, the U.S. taxpayers, Oklahoma taxpayers, are being forced to cover the cost of these students that are coming in throughout the year, overwhelming our schools. We have fentanyl entering into our schools. We have a terrorist, literally a terrorist that came in through Kamala Harris's border crisis into an Oklahoma school that was arrested by the FBI, thank goodness. But look at these failed border policies. We never had this under President Trump. It's cost our state $500 million to educate these illegal immigrant students. Hey, it's time for Kamala Harris, the border czar, to pay up. She needs to be held responsible for her failure at the southern border.
You mentioned education, and I want to ask what's going on in the classroom. I'm a new parent. I also live next to a migrant shelter in New York City, so I'm sort of aware of the pressure that it puts on teachers as well as parents when you have people in the classroom who don't even speak English. There's clearly no reading and writing happening. What are teachers and parents in your district telling you about the pressure they're seeing in the classroom?
Oh, they are just beyond upset over this. I mean, their classrooms are being overwhelmed. And then think about this. Number one, Kamala Harris and the Federal Department of Education, they don't want us to count how many illegal immigrants there are in our schools. So number one, they don't want you to know how many illegal immigrants have come across the border. Number two, the pressure it puts on schools is tremendous. So in the middle of the school year, they are diverting resources away from students of taxpayers. They are diverting all these resources. And also, I want to talk about classroom sizes. When you have hundreds of kids show up over a weekend, they go into the classroom. You can't hire new teachers in the middle of the school year. So the class sizes get bigger, the resources get more scarce. And then lastly, to your point, most of these children do not speak English. So you're having to bring in interpreters. You're having to utilize the resources you have to try to go, hey, we got to get these kids caught up. Well, where does that leave the children of the taxpayers? They are left behind, and those teachers and those resources are being used elsewhere.
Ryan, we appreciate you shining a light on this because it's truly a crisis, and it's not just in Oklahoma, but it's pretty much everywhere now across the country. It's coming to a city near you. Here in New York City, as a sanctuary city, we're all living it, as Taylor mentioned, firsthand and watching this. What is this costing the country? And to the point that you guys both just made, when you think about the learning loss that our children are experiencing and compound that over time.
Look, to your point, it is an enormous number that this is costing taxpayers billions and billions of dollars across the country. The largest unfunded mandate in the country is the education of the illegal immigrants moving across the border. Number two, absolutely. The impact on education is enormous. Kamala Harris has ignored parents. She's did everything the teachers unions have told her to do. This never happened under President Trump. President Trump championed parents' rights, school choice, improvement in education, advancement and understanding of American values. President Trump would never let this happen. We've got to get him back in the White House to get the country back on track. This is the future of the country is at stake if we don't get our schools back on track, shut down that southern border, and get our economy booming again.
Sounds like you're asking Kamala Harris to pay her fair share. I've heard that before somewhere. Ryan Walters, thank you for that interview. We appreciate it.